Hey, Tennis One fans, welcome to your crowd rival tournament recap. ATP tournament finished in Rome on Sunday, and it featured most of the top players. No Yannick Sinner, no Carlos Alcaraz, so that was a big talking point. Certainly some opportunity for all these players that you see here and more. Early round shocker for me, it has to be none other than Novak Djokovic going out in a really flat performance against Alejandro Tabilo. Been a strange season for Novak for sure, but also the water bottle incident in his after his match against Mute, where a fan accidentally dropped it, leaning over the bleachers, and the water bottle just flew out of the backpack and hit him in the head. And it's hard to say really how much that impacted his performance, but there's no doubt that it could have played a really serious role. And if he was indeed concussed, that does explain a lot of this match that we saw, which was very poor from Djokovic. Very great by Tabilo, though. Semifinal surprise is none other than Alejandro Tabilo because he carried that momentum by beating Khachanov and Zhang Jingzhen before and almost beating Zverev up 2-love in the second set tiebreak and won the first set 6-1. So he was definitely the Chilean is definitely someone to watch out for Roland Garros. And your Rome champion amidst all this chaos ended up being Alexander Zverev. He won his sixth Masters 1000 title. Very impressive display of serving and baseline consistency in the final. And for the most part, apart from the match against Tabilo, it was pretty straightforward for him all week. Not the most impressive of runs for sure in terms of competition, but you can only play who's in front of you, and he did well considering the circumstances. Let's talk about some of my contest picks. I said Fognini in Rome. I mentioned the crowd. I mentioned how he always gets up for a match like that against Evans. This one I was off by just one. Kecmanovic beat Brandon and beat him by one more ace, or sorry, one more breakpoint saved. So I was just a tad bit off on that. Nadal against Bergs, more games won. Yes. And I picked Djokovic against Mute. Hurkacz, I talked about his amazing serving, and I talked about how the delta is pretty big between him and Rafa. He ended up winning the match, also saving more break points. Struff lost the match, but he hit more aces. I said Fritz would do better than Korda. I said Fritz would also do better in the ace count than Dimitrov. This one I was a little bit off on. I underestimated the cold nighttime conditions and how much slower they are and how difficult it is to hit through a returner like Zverev. And Fritz did not have his best serving day, so Zverev ended up winning this contest. And this one actually, because of that 6-1 set, Tabilo ended up winning more points, but he lost 6-2 in the third. That can sometimes happen in tennis. This one, Jarry won this contest 5-3. Really good third set by both here. And I said Zverev would be too solid for Jarry. So overall, it was a very successful tournament for me in these contest picks. Won a lot of cash. There'll be plenty more opportunities with Roland Garros coming up, grass court season after that, Olympics. So stay tuned and keep participating in more of these contests. Challenge your peers. Use cash in this matchup always, as sports poker casinos needed, and no sports poker casinos needed, excuse me. And stay up to date with all the latest Tennis One information on our socials. See you soon.